Hello, this is Hendrik, and in this tutorial series I'm going to show you how to create plugins and Flownodes. The prerequisites for this is you already have installed the latest CryEngine free SDK version, which you can get here on the CryDev homepage, and you already compiled the game DLL yourself, and you can use the forums here to see how to fix the various problems that come with recompiling game DLLs. So these are the prerequisites, and now let's move on to Flownode and plugin creation. Basically, you can put Flownodes also in your game DLL, but you will have the problem when you want to redistribute them to some users. Most users won't be able to recompile game DLL because they are not programmers or software developers. So if you want to share your Flownode, then you are going to create a plugin which then will be easy to redistribute to other users. So how do you create a plugin? Well, here in the programming board there's a post of me which contains some of the information and wiki with some advanced topics. We're just going to download the Plugin SDK now and install it, and then go into creation. By the way, I integrated the wizard to create a basic layout of the plugin, and this wizard works at the moment only for Visual Studio 2010 Express or full version, doesn't matter. But you can after you run the wizard, you can convert the project to Visual Studio 2012, and it will also work. You just need to run the wizard in Visual Studio 2010, and it's very important you install the SDK to the right folder, otherwise the wizard will create errors and won't work. Okay, you can see here the changelog. We're going to use the latest version for CryEngine 3.4.4. Okay, let's download it. This installer will always download the latest version, meaning you will have to have the latest SDK sometime in the future. Via this link you will have the ability to choose which version you want to download. This website here is still in beta mode and will open in March, and by the way, I think it's a great way to redistribute your binary files, maybe if you have your plugin finished someday. Okay. Now we have downloaded this, we started this. Now we need to select the CryEngine folder. Basically, I have installed this to C drive, and here you see the latest CryEngine version, and this is the directory you have to install to. Otherwise, as I said, the wizard won't work. Okay. Now the installer is going to check if we have selected the right directory and the correct CryEngine version, otherwise it will give out a warning. Okay, it's downloading the plugin SDK now. We agree. Okay, we have here the ability to automatically download additional plugins. Maybe we will download here this one. This is a plugin which provides text-to-speech commands, and I think we're going to use this to demonstrate a little bit our new plugin. Okay, the folder stays the same. We're going to have to install it now. It will open up the change logs, the text-to-speech plugin. Okay, you will see now it installed everything to the Plugin SDK folders. If you want to use the installers at a later point again, and yeah, okay, close. So now we are finished setting up the Plugin SDK. We will jump now into creating a plugin. Just open your Visual Studio 2010. Okay, select create new project. We will have to search a bit here sometimes. Here it is. Depending on if you have Express or normal version, sometimes you have to search. It's called plugin. Okay, I also have a little guide here which you can always look into if you want to see how to create a plugin. I remember these steps in my head, but I recommend read it sometime while creating it. And now we are going to just create a plugin. I will name it various stuff, because I think I'm going to implement in the following tutorials some more Flownodes, and yeah. So this is also very important. Select the correct folder for your, yes, so the current version, and you need to select the code directory. Otherwise the wizard won't work. Also the wizard will automatically expect this syntax here. Also you need to uncheck this if you have still checked this. So we will now continue, and the wizard will now open up. We're going to create version 101, and then we will choose a category. What do we use? Yes, maybe other. You can put your name here. Basically you can change this later. I'm going to put my name here. Okay, go to next step. So now the plugin is set up, and you will be able to search now, for example, to do. So, and it will list you the stuff you can do. Basically, stuff some put some stuff into the README, or yes, write custom game extensions. Basically in this tutorial we're not touching any of this because we are just creating a Flownode. So we will keep everything like it is basically, and just go here, select Flownode, and create a new item. So we will have a C++ file, and we are not going to put it into the project folder. We're going, of course, put it into the source folder. Create no subfolder, notes, select. Okay. Today we are going to create a very small Flownode which will create a little bit value transformation. This was requested by Kimber23, and he wanted to basically clamp a value and transform the value. So this is basically as easy as it gets. Okay, we will just copy this. Oh no, later we will do this. Okay, so we call this value transform cpp. Okay, add. So now we have an empty file, and of course you will need to have some basic template for creating a Flownode. I already set this up, so we're just going to use this, and I will put the template also available for you, so you can use it for your own nodes too. So we're going to put our header here. So we are going to set up a namespace here, so it is clean. So basically now I'll have to explain some stuff. Here we will have to include our plugin main header, which contains all the stuff the Plugin SDK provides, and also stuff you would have set up normally, which we don't need at this point. So here we will put the name of our Flownode. So we will call it value transform node. Yes. Let's copy this text, and we'll just have to paste this. We're just going to search again for to do. So now we will get it listed here. Okay, replace that, replace that, replace this. Okay. Clamps and scales and input value. Okay. We will have to put here val or plugin or Flownode is going to show up in the flow graph editor of CryEngine. So I put here this category various stuff. Yes. And we are going to name it value transform, and also we will have to put the name of the class we use in this file here. And since our class is in the namespace where stuff plugin, we will use the function register flownode ex, where we can specify the correct full class and meaning namespace, class name. Okay, so basically when we run this now, our plugin is already going to show up. We will try this now. Basically the project is set up in such a way that if you press debug now, it will start the correct launcher or editor. I don't know. We will look this up now because we want to now run in the editor. So we go to debugging, and currently the launcher is selected, so we will select editor. Is it called editor? You'll see now. Okay, so if I start this up now, yeah, CryEngine will now fire up. Also, I added a nice feature. If you compile it, here this small helpers will automatically indent your source files with some basic settings. Okay, log in. So we will create a new level for this tutorial. Basically various, yeah, we have this already here. Okay. It takes some time. Oh, what happened now? Ah, okay. Global share. Global share means everyone you share the CryEngine folder with will be able to open this level. We just need minimal stuff. Now, okay, so we have a level here. Okay, we need a little area where we can start. Oh man, I use this editor too little. So we just create a little spot where we. Oh man, what happened here? Flatten, yeah. Height, so too much. No. Okay. So now we have some area where we can stay on. Okay, this is good enough for our tutorial. Good. Let's save this. Okay. Now let's open the flowgraph editor. Okay, we will put this here to the side so we can see both things, and we don't need both of this at the same time, so we'll be able to switch here. Okay, so I basically said that it should always now show up, and as we see or notice already here, basically this is the stuff that I supplied, so we now need to implement our Flownode, but it means already that your plugin is now loaded and works. I implemented some functions to help you figure out what happened if your plugin is loaded or not. So we're going to have to list the plugins now. Yeah. So you see now various stuff plugin is loaded. The DLL file, everything works okay, and our text-to-speech plugin should now also work. We will check this. Speak command. Hello world.
Hello world.
Yes, this was the plugin we downloaded. Okay, nice. So we'll just close up the editor for now. Yes. Okay. And now we are going to have to implement or not. Basically, I already put some stuff here in the template. What do we need for this plugin to work? Basically, we have this formula here, which means you want to have an input value. So input is basically just in value. And what are the outputs going to be for no Flownode is alt min max, so 2 values, and new min max. So we have now 4 float values we need, and then we are also going to have to output the value we transformed. So we have 5 values. We need to split this up into input and output categories. So we already have here our small setup. So we have only an input value. Basically I mixed this up. We only have one output value and those are our input values. So now we have it right. So this is basically here an enum data type which you use to number the ports of the new Flownode. Each of the ports needs to have a unique number, and C++ is going to generate these numbers for us if you put this into such an enum data type. Okay, so the first port is the value, then we're going to have the alt min and alt max and alt new min and new max. So now we have our input port numbers, and now we're going to need an output port. Now basically this is already set up by the template. This here is the constructor. If you need more variables in your node, then you can use this to initialize those variables. Basically, if we want to define a number here and we need to remember it, this is the place we are going to have to put the initialization of those values. We don't need this for this plugin, since our plugin is very simple. Okay, this is basically another one of those functions you just need to have. It collects memory statistics. You need this function. You can leave it also as it is, and this is the destructor. So basically, if you want to have some stuff happening, if the Flownode is removed from the graph or CryEngine shuts down, you put it here. So, and now is the interesting part. We don't need the activate port, we just need values here. We already have the value, and we are going to need to have 4 more. Very important is now that you have the same numbering. So value is first, then comes alt min and the other stuff. So we have here alt min again, alt max, new min and new max. Okay, then output just one value. This is already set up. Okay, we will assign this here to the config, and we have already the description, and we need to set the category, otherwise our node won't appear in the sandbox editor. So here are other placeholders for later use. Basically, this process event function does some stuff which are required by Flownodes. You can pause and resume Flownodes with buttons in Sandbox, and there's also a possibility to set up a timer or the set entirety ID. We're not using an entirety in our Flownode, so we leave this empty. We are just going to use the EFE activate, and this is basically means we get called, this function gets called if some value gets transmitted to the Flownode we just created. And then we need to check which value changed. So basically we just want to be notified of stuff when the value changes. So we will put our entire stuff here, and now we are able to transform this value. For this to work, we need some information about the other ports which weren't basically activated with this call. So at this point I'm just going to look up how this stuff works, because well, I don't know at this moment. So I already wrote some plugins, so we're just going to go into my repository, look at this plugin, and as you see it has the same layout basically, and we're now going to look into a source file of mine and look how to access such an input value. Why doesn't it load now? No. Fine. So we can use GitHub, for example, to look up how stuff is done, and I recommend it that you use it and you read other projects and you learn how stuff works this way. That's how I started learning stuff. So those nodes don't fit. So now we are going to the part that is going to be interesting. Basically, we see now here the function I searched for is called GetPort and then something. So, well, we are going to use GetPort float. Yeah, we have to supply the p-act-info pointer and now the port number, and we're going to use the import value. Yeah, and basically to output the value we need to activate a port, and we do it this way. And we have the data type float, which means rational number, and the port is and the value. This is the calculation basically. Just to make casting right, we put this here, and this will at the moment just mirror our input value to the output value. We can compile this now, and this node basically just hands over the input value as output value. So now we're going to add the transformation part. As you see, we need the alt min and the alt max and all this stuff. To make the formula a bit understanding, we create here some temporary variables just to make it more understandable. Yeah, the input value, the new alt min value. Yeah, just paste this here. Yeah, basically you can or write a very long function line, or you can make it understandable better. I recommend you make it understandable, because otherwise in about a month or something you won't know how your own Flownode works, and that won't be too nice. So we have to get these numbers right, or we will get the wrong numbers here. So basically now we have our stuff now here. We're just going to copy this formula, and I noticed a small error. We need to clamp our values first, otherwise the scaling will be wrong in cases where the value is outside of the min-max range. So there is a function for this defined in the CryEngine SDK. So we're just going to use the clamp function on the value, and we put our min here, and we're using the alt values at this moment because the value is not yet transformed. Okay. And now we're going to use it by just putting it here into this formula. Yeah. Also, maybe interesting to know is what I'm using here is called Hungarian Notation, which basically means the first character of a variable name is the data type you use, and F basically means here float. You can like it or not, but this is the style CryEngine uses, and to keep consistency you should also use this. So we're just going to build this now. As you see, the automatic indent fixed this up for me, and now our port works. We will try this out now by going into the sandbox. So as you will see, it's very fast to compile this because the plugin is so little. And if you would have put your Flownode into the game DLL, basically you would have to compile a lot of stuff if you changed some headers, and it just takes a lot of time, and plugins are a great way to save you that time. So we're back in our nice test level, and we're just going to set up a Flownode here. We will add various stuff, value transform. As you see now, the new ports are there. You can also see the help text. So what value do we use? Basically, what do we use? Maybe the no, that's not good. At first we'll just use a manual value. and this value will be modified not just anytime, but I want to have it on the keyboard key. And now I'm searching the correct place where I can receive those keys. Yeah, key. So we will put this to the J key, and we need to enable our key listening device or node, as you call them, and you need for this the lock on the MISC and here enable. So basically we start go into the game mode, then we press this, and then we need some value. This is we can do here. We want the value 2, and it should be set if we press the key, and then it's fed to value transform. And now we need to set up the alt min alt max. Basically we want to scale our value by factor 100, I mean 10. Basically it will or should now output 20. And to check if it is right what we get here, we're just going to have our text-to-speech plugin speak this for us. Okay, let's go into game. And now I'm going to press the J key. It should output 20 now.
20.000000.
Very nice. So I'm going to press again.
20.000000.
Still works. Okay, let's change a bit factors. Now it should output something else.
100.000000.
Very nice. So as you see, it works. So you can save up this stuff now. I will also attach it into the thread. Yeah. So for this tutorial we are done. I'll be thinking about doing some other tutorials related to Flownode and plugin creation, maybe next week or in 2 weeks, I don't know yet. Simply post in the thread if you have a topic you want covered or find interesting. I'll have a look and I'll select the topic I think I can fit into a tutorial that won't be too long. We are going to close this up now. Yes, okay. Basically we're done now. We have the 64-bit version, the release version. They all compile. We will just try it out now. Builds, functions. So this is a very nice way of setting up your Flownode for redistribution. So where is this file located now? Basically in the plugin folders. For the 32-bit version here. So if you want to redistribute it to someone else, you just need to send him this file and say to him here, place it here, and yeah, you can say to him he should install the Plugin SDK, because otherwise it won't load. but you could also create an installer for your plugin, and this is definitely going to be a topic I'm going to be covering in the next plugins, I mean tutorials. And you also already see here some stuff. Build installer, we're going to call it now, and it already creates a file and it will install something. But to understand how it works, we'll have a look at this later on. I created this ANSYS template, and the nice other thing is, if you use my SDK, you can build your plugin using this file. You don't even need to go into Visual Studio to build it, so you can automate your build process very nice. And if you want to recompile everything, basically, let's say you got a new SDK version, you can use this file here, build all. It will build all plugins created by the wizard, and it will compile the game DLL, it will compile the plugin SDK. Basically, you get a new SDK version, you drop the plugins into the code folders, then you go to tools, call build all, and it should work for the new SDK version. That's the target of those scripts. So it would be nice if you keep the directory layout and file names, because otherwise so it's automated stuff won't work. And yeah, if you create a nice plugin, let me know, and then I'll include it into the Plugin SDK web installer, so users can download it very nicely. Yeah, so